8 o'clock on a Tuesday. That means it's time to talk to our buddy from the Post-Gazette and 93.7 The Fan. That is Jason Mackey. Fan Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Good morning to you, Mackey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Good morning, guys. Great to see you.
Great to see you too, Jason. You put out a Twitter poll last night prior to your the mustache is gone.
Yeah, the goatee's gone.
Goatee's not there anymore.
It's all well. You were giving me crap about it last week, Adam, and it banged me up so bad I couldn't continue. I had to shave. I was self-conscious.
You care what he has to say?
You said your wife liked it.
Well, I mean, your opinion matters more.
This is what he does to people, Jason.
It got in my head. I couldn't continue.
I said I liked it.
I liked it too.
And I appreciate that, Dorian. But you know what a negative comment does to people? I mean, it just – you can't shake that.
It sits there. It festers. I think Jason looks a lot better clean-shaven, actually.
I like the goatee.
I mean, I think you got the jawline for it. I don't. That's why I grow a beard. All right, you talk about negative comments, Jason. So you put out this Twitter poll last night, and you're right. Something I've been thinking about. If the Steelers could work out a trade, assuming minimal cost, and he agreed, would you take Kenny Pickett over Russell Wilson, Justin Fields in 2025? Now, reasonable people see that, and they say, Jason's not advocating this. Jason's just curious where people come down on Kenny Pickett. Well, then you talked about it on your radio show. How did people come down on that? How much Kenny hate is there? How much Kenny support is there? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I put that out there. Again, not advocating that the Steelers do it. I'm very much in the camp of signing Justin Fields. I don't want Kenny Pickett back. I wanted to see what the reaction would be. I didn't expect the reaction to be, you're an idiot. How could you say that? You suck at your job. You know, that sort of thing. Like, people disliking Kenny, I understand that. And that's a lot of what I got on the show. That's a lot. We talked about, why does Kenny Pickett rub people so wrong? Like, what did he do? What was the flashpoint for people turning on him? And I do think it was the report out there that he wanted traded or he kind of quit on his team, whatever you want to say that reputation was. But no, I mean, it was about 85% said absolutely no way. I'd be curious to hear what the 15% said, honestly, guys. Like, what are you thinking that you would want him back? I thought it would lead to a little bit more of a back and forth, a little bit more of a discussion. I was wrong. I didn't expect to get roasted that much. But, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? Like, what athlete has been this controversial or tweaked people as much as Kenny Pickett seems to do?
Especially one who's as, I think, benign as Kenny Pickett. Mm-hmm. Like, I know those reports and what happened in Seattle. I don't as much blame him. Like, the Seattle one irks me. But you bring in Russell Wilson, and so I demand a trade, and now people hate the guy. And I realize he has not achieved what the person I'm about to bring up has achieved, Myles Garrett. But Myles Garrett asks out of Cleveland, and Cleveland fans have that guy's back. Meanwhile, you bring in a quarterback to start over your first-round pick, Kenny Pickett, and he's not allowed to request a trade. That one never bothered me.
I know. And, I mean, let's just look at this from a human element, Adam. I mean, maybe he made a mistake. Maybe in the heat of a moment, like, he didn't agree with it. No, again, I'm of the belief that he didn't play well enough to retain his job.
Sure.
It's professional sports, and he should have to compete for it, and the Steelers did nothing wrong, and no issue there. But, like, let's just look at it. What if he did something that was immature and stupid? Maybe he'd want that back. I don't know. Can we move on? Can we admit that? It is weird. The Myles Garrett comparison is a good one. Honestly, I didn't think of that last night, but yeah, I mean, I think it is the cardinal sin of professional sports or something like that. Again, assuming all of it's true, that he did ask for a trade and ask out. Like, this was a guy that everybody kind of believed in. This is the heir to Ben. This is this wonderful story. This guy who produced at Pitt. And then he said, I don't want to be here. And everybody turned on him.
I think it's genius. It clearly benefited. It was a genius move. And I mean, okay,
really?
I think it's genius. I mean, you bring somebody in who's a veteran, who's a former Super Bowl winner, and it's like, okay, am I going to sit here and compete with this guy and get beat out and be a backup? No, I think I'm a starter. So let's see if I can go back to the team that I grew up with and you win a Super Bowl. I think it's a great business move.
Yeah, but what now? Like, what happens now to him, Doran? That's what I worry about, because now he's set up for what? He has one more year in Philly. He's obviously not going to play. He hasn't shown much. Like, he's not I don't know. Do you think he gets bounced out of there and gets traded? So I guess that works, but then you don't have control over where you're going. Your resume doesn't look great.
Put it this way, I'd rather be a backup in Philly than a backup in Pittsburgh.
So that much I agree with.
True.
That much
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
And I think he saw the writing on the wall, I guess. I guess he saw, like, okay, like, I'm probably not going to beat out Russell Wilson. They seem to want Russell Wilson. I'm going to be a backup here. I'd rather be a backup somewhere else.
No, and that is a human moment there.
Yeah.
I am clearly not the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise quarterback. Right. They just told me that. They brought in Russell Wilson. So maybe they'll move me to a place where somebody thinks I can be a stopgap guy and I can prove them wrong and I can go be the franchise quarterback there. Or, hey, guess what? I land in Philly. It's my hometown. I could take it easy here, see what happens. I mean, that's humanity there. Because imagine sticking around in the place that drafted you to be the franchise guy. You're not. That hurts, man. Mm-hmm. Like, that's got to suck.
Adam, he had a passer rating under 80. He didn't deserve to, like, bring in somebody. They're not wrong for doing that.
No, and I don't think the Steelers wronged him then. If you want to make the argument, and I have, that the Steelers wronged him at all, and he does have to bear some of the responsibility, it's the way things started with Kenny Pickett, where he got 0 first-team reps in the offseason. They immediately cede the thing to Trubisky, and then when it doesn't work, shockingly, with Mitch Trubisky, he doesn't get any of the first-team reps. He's thrown into the fire in the middle of the Jets game, and then he's on the road at Buffalo, on the road at Philadelphia. Like, that ain't the way to do it.
I just don't understand the anger that surrounds this situation. Like, I understand what Doran is saying. Maybe it was a great business decision for Kenny. Whatever. Like, you do you, man. I maybe this is like being on this side of the fence for as long as I have. I can't muster the that this guy did something so horribly wrong.
No,
the Steelers made their play. He made his. Like, Godspeed in Philadelphia, man, or wherever you go. We're moving on. Like, whatever. It's not worth freaking out over.
I agree with you, but it's the whole Pitt thing. There's Penn State fan base is a big Steelers fan base. They kind of coexist, and I think it has to do. I think it's as small as something like that. I think that it's the eyes were so much on them, and it just never was going to work.
Somebody tried to make that argument to me on the Fan Evening Show last night about the Penn State Pitt thing, which I get it. But, like, by that argument, are we going to be upset if Saquon Barkley comes in here and produces? Save me that. Save me that. No, nobody cares if you play well in the NFL.
I think it's super easy if you are more passionate about your college team than you are the pro team. And I think Penn State fans who are part of that Venn diagram, I think a lot of them like the college team more. It's just the state college way. And so then they look at, okay, well, now my second favorite football team, the Pitt guy, in their mind ruined it. And it's an easy thing to hold against him. Oh, I can't believe they just went next door and they got Kenny Pickett. I do think there's a substantial amount of nuance, though, in this whole thing. And I think we've all landed in the same place. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like,
right.
People can be happy about Kenny for kneeling out the Super Bowl, which was an awesome moment for him, or you cannot be. But if there's hate left anymore, like,
ridiculous.
I've always thought it's been misplaced. It should be more on the organization for. Frankly, they put the pressure on a third-round graded quarterback by taking him in the first round and making him be the heir apparent to maybe the greatest quarterback in the history of the franchise, at least top 2. Like, that's tough. All right, can we move on? Let's move on. Unless you don't want to move on. Yeah, one more. Go ahead.
Dude, you know what bothers me is Kenny Pickett is, 30 games into his NFL career? Something like that. We're sitting here talking about Justin Fields can improve and get better, and he deserves another opportunity. Why are we labeling Kenny Pickett as a career backup when he's played 30 games compared to 50 for Justin Fields? Like, he can still improve. I don't think we've seen the best football out of Kenny Pickett. That's not a statement relative to the Steelers. That's just the reality of being a young player in professional sports. Like, things can and will change. We don't need to be attached to anything. All right, I'm done. Move on.
People got mad at your Twitter poll. I thought about this one today. If Kenny Pickett started every Eagles playoff game, do they still win the Super Bowl?
No. No.
I mean, Saquon was averaging over 100 yards.
Yeah, like, he hasn't done enough for me that any of the NFC teams they faced would have to respect the pass enough. You could probably load up just numbers-wise and stop Saquon. I really like Jalen Hurts, guys. This is sideways of Kenny Pickett, but I don't think they win it if Kenny's starting.
Jalen Hurts is a lot better than I thought. His last 2 games definitely showed me that. Jason, you were quite the lightning rod on social media yesterday because you had the gall, the stones, to say you liked the Tommy Fan move. Why?
Because it's a personality the Pirates need. They need somebody who's a bit of a word I can't say on a radio show. Somebody who's going to call out a teammate. Somebody who, might go in the manager's office and say, look, we need to do this differently. It's a strong personality. And this might blow up in their face. I don't know. And I'm not saying I like their entire offseason. I don't think they've added enough. But I feel like if they would have gotten a couple bats or even a bat, people wouldn't be as angry about the Tommy Pham signing. This guy in that piece, you can read, has done some stuff that, again, it might rub some people the wrong way, but it's good for the leadership of a team. It is good for challenging guys, holding guys accountable. So, I'm not saying I love this move. This is the greatest move ever. They're so smart. I can't wait to see them win, 102 games. No, I'm saying this is an element that the Pirates have missed, and I'm really looking forward to see it play out.
Jason, real quick back to the Steelers. If Justin Fields, he's going to have other suitors. He's probably going to explore those options. Russell Wilson may have maybe 1 or 2 suitors. What if he explores those options too, and both those guys don't sign back as the Steelers quarterback? Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, of course. I was going to make a joke. No, I don't want it, Doran. I don't, man. There has to be another option. I think there's so much baggage, other stuff associated there. I feel like that's going to turn this into a circus. I mean, the one upshot would be that I think it would position them for 2026. But, can you imagine Aaron Rodgers going on Pat McAfee saying who knows what and Mike Tomlin having to deal with that? I don't
that has never happened before. There's never been a quarterback going on the radio around town causing problems for Tomlin.
I know. I don't think they're going to sign up for it. And the guy can't play well enough. You can find somebody else. I wouldn't be excited about it. I'm not excited about Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely not.
Jason, this was spirited. This was delightful. Are you on tonight?
No, I'm not. I'm in tomorrow.
Okay, very
Monday,
good.
Wednesday, Friday this week.
We look forward to hearing you. Jason, appreciate the time. Rita's working the Post-Gazette. See you, buddy.
Thanks, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning. Usually a beginning of the conversation.
Good morning.
Yeah, he gives a good morning at the end.
Good morning. I never heard that before.
No.
That's interesting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fare thee well.